After a short while on the road, Naomi told her 2 daughters-in-law, "Go back, go home and live with your mothers, and may God treat you as graciously as you have treated your deceased husbands and me. May God give each of you a new home and a new husband." She kissed them and they cried openly. They said, "No, we're going on with you to your people." But Naomi was firm. "Go back, my dear daughters. Why would you come with me? Do you suppose I still have sons in my womb who can become your future husbands? Go back, dear daughters. On your way, please. I'm too old to get a husband. Why, even if I said, 'There's still hope,' and this very night got a man and had sons, can you imagine being satisfied to wait until they were grown? Would you wait that long to get married again? No, dear daughters, this is a bitter pill for me to swallow, more bitter for me than for you. God has dealt me a hard blow." Again they cried openly. Orpah kissed her mother-in-law goodbye, but Ruth embraced her and held on. Naomi said, "Look, your sister-in-law is going back home to live with her own people and God's. Go with her." But Ruth said, "Don't force me to leave you. Don't make me go home. Where you go, I go. And where you live, I'll live. Your people are my people. Your God is my God. Where you die, I'll die. And that's where I'll be buried. So help me God. Not even death itself is going to come between us." When Naomi saw that Ruth had her heart set on going with her, she gave in. And so the 2 of them traveled on together to Bethlehem. When they arrived in Bethlehem, the whole town was soon buzzing. "Is this really our Naomi after all this time?"
The whole story of Ruth and Naomi is a fascinating piece of biblical storytelling. And it's only 4 chapters long. So pull it off the shelf. You read the whole thing. In the Bible, most often, the men play the leading roles. But in this fascinating and fantastic story of women making their way in a difficult and patriarchal world, they are front and center. They are the heroes of this story. The moment that we read today, that Janet read, is the first turning point in the story. It lays out how the system of family relations that was intended to give everyone a place failed Ruth and Naomi. And so they create their own system. They create a family simply cut out of the choices they're making and the tenderness that they hold for each other and the deep respect that they have for one another. In this moment, Ruth makes a daring decision that Naomi will be her home. Chosen family, family of the heart. Family of lineage has failed them, and so they're going to put their heart and soul and well-being into becoming a home for one another. Now, I believe that birth family, family relations, those core relationships are really important to our well-being. I mean, and there are many kinds of those families, and people come together in different ways, but those units are important. And here at Highlands, we value and support families as a critical way for us to be in safe community and become the people that God is calling us to be. We have a minister of children, youth, and families for that reason. At the same time, I also believe that God creates other kinds of relationships in our lives and different kinds of communities that have the power to support, nurture, and sometimes even save us. As a dad, I know that how important it is that I have a relationship with my kids, and that they have a relationship with their mom, and that they have relationships with each other, and that those relationships be healthy. But I also know that there are limits to what I can do and how I can be there with my kids. And so I have always believed that my kids need to have strong relationships with key non-parental adults and friends. Those are life-saving relationships. What I'm talking about are the soccer coaches and the choir leaders and the teachers and friends are important as well, and Sunday school teachers and all kinds of people. These are important relationships that help us to become who we're called to be in the world. Well, today we celebrate a coming together again of a kind of chosen family, a community of faith, a spiritual home. We're not blood family. We are, well, our initiation rite is baptism. We are family of water. A family that we choose. A family of the heart. We have no legal status in one another's lives, but we are here to be a kind of a home for one another through thick and thin. And these COVID times have made it challenging for us to be in the kind of intimate relationships and intimate gathering and gathering as a whole that we are used to. And so it has required some ingenuity to be together in other ways and to find ways. But we will find those ways, and we are finding those ways, and we will not give up, because this spiritual home is important to our calling as people to be full, stand tall children of God in the world. If ever there was a time that we need to take a leaf out of Ruth and Naomi's book and commit to one another in adversity, now is that time. And we need to watch out for each other. We need to reach out and be community to each other. And we need to stay in touch. And we need to nurture each other's faith through this marathon that we're running. So, welcome back to the family of the heart in which we commit to one another. Wherever you go, I'll go. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. And we will walk together through the ups and downs of life, and we will embody that family of the heart, that spiritual home in small groups and in study groups and in phone calls and in visits and in little gatherings in the courtyard and events that celebrate the life God gives and the story of God's love in the world. And Ruth and Naomi did not commit to a house or a piece of land, or a place, or a lineage, or a name. No, they committed to each other, to a relationship, to be home to each other. They said they would be each other's home. The quality of relationship and the commitment is what that home is made of. And that becomes a model for us. We are here that each might live and grow and thrive as children of God and may have a spiritual home. And whether that home exists in cyberspace or physical space, doesn't matter. It's real. That's the kind of community that we commit to becoming and to being in this place. Welcome home.